Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? I see Mr. Bam
Hello.
is not on camera for some
Oh,
reason, even though I adjusted it before the stream. Hold on a second.
technical difficulties. But let's be honest, the people don't need to see my face.
Yes, they do. There you are.
Ah,
Hello.
there we go. I'm here,
So
I'm alive.
I wanted to do the introduction saying like, "Hey, it's me this week, surprise!" But I also brought my technical difficulties with me. How is everyone doing? So it's nice to be here again. I'm joined by Bam, so I'm the guest today. And yeah, so how are you doing, Bam?
Busy. A lot going on, as everyone knows. The Gladiator season, we are several weeks into the season itself, and so on development side of things, we are already getting prepped and locked down for our content of next season. That is no hints. That is not an announcement of any sort of content or things that we're going to talk about for next season, but just kind of putting it out there that it's been a busy couple of days and weeks
Oh yeah,
going on here.
I can't imagine. Like we had the announcement last week regarding the Italian tank destroyers, which turned out was a little bit more of a problem that we anticipated. Maybe you want to just jump in right on that.
Let's go right into that because if people weren't tuning in last week, may have missed the news, and we do have a lot more breakdown of the details on our portal article as always.
Yeah.
But yes, last week we talked about the Italian tank destroyer line, which, as most of you have known, as with our debut trailer for the Gladiator season, we hinted at the release of a new Italian tank destroyer line in World War II. We ran into some unforeseen difficulty in the development side of these tanks in particular. The issue with these tanks, unlike the rest of the tanks in our game, in which, and I'm going to do another demonstration here because it just helps. This is actually a turret of a Leopard tank that I own just on my shelving over here. All of our tanks in the game, they rest very firmly on top of a chassis or hull of a tank on a horizontal axis. So when they spin, if I get that a little bit closer to the camera here. So anytime that you are rotating your turret, it just rotates on a horizontal axis, just like this. The Italian tank destroyer tanks that we've been developing, though, they are on a pitched axis on top of the hull of their tanks. And because of this, the rotation is now going to rotate on a diagonal axis. And this caused a lot of unforeseen issues in development and playtest that our engineering and QA teams have been working hard to kind of hammer out. And we are very close to being able to iron all the issues out on these tanks themselves. The issue that was presented, and we showed off a quick video of what this was last week, might still be available if you guys want to tune in on last week's stream. We won't go over that one today, but it gave a weird, almost like you're on a boat floating in the middle of the ocean kind of effect, kind of a rocking view, which one can be very motion sickness inducing. We want to be very aware of that, but also a gameplay impact. It's going to throw off your aim if you're having to deal with this kind of issue here. So as kind of a commitment to us on the development side and to you guys, to the players, we decided not to release the Italian line tanks as part of the Gladiator season because we did not want to deliver these tanks in a buggy state that would be not to your expectations of how these tanks should play. And because of that, we have shifted their release date window within June as part of our next season. So, please understand development. We hit some hurdles and obstacles here along the way. And sometimes we just have to pivot a little bit to make sure that we deliver things in a tidy and neat and to expectations fashion to the best that we can muster. And that's kind of the quick TLDR on what the Italian tank line destroyer situation was like.
Thank you, Bam. I saw Tally writing in the chat and saying if we are aware of the other tank that has this. I think we talked about this briefly in the beginning of the week about the Kunze Panzer.
The Kunze Panzer.
Have you looked at, were you able to look at that, or is this?
I was trying to dig around. I was speaking with Max Chaos, and I were talking a little bit if there was any sort of live report issues on this to look a little bit more in depth. Right now, like I've been kind of saying, it's been a busy week on our end. So this one, has gotten a little away from just my eyes at the moment.
Yes.
If I had a hunch of what might be going on here is some of the incremental changes and fixes that we've been applying to the Italian TDs. I don't know if something snuck its way into the retail environment and has impacted this tank in particular. So we will follow up on the reports of this. We will see and get down to what the issue might be. It is very interesting that it is experiencing the same kind of boat rocking effect that we've just described with the Italian TDs. So hopefully next week we'll have some more clarity and details on what might be going on with that tank in particular.
Yeah, but so in short, we do know about this because I saw I saw a couple of discussions about this, but yeah. I also just want to quickly go into one topic that I saw in the chat. I saw people on YouTube asking as well, where do we ask questions? So Bam will pay attention to the chat. We're gonna pick some questions out, but we want to introduce something new that we thought about it, to also be able to deliver more detailed answers to questions. We prepared a form where we start collecting questions every time from Friday till Monday over the weekend. Everybody has the chance to put in the questions that they want to ask, and we will then forward these questions to the dev team, so they have the entire week to look into, pick out interesting questions that might come up, or and then provide answers. So we will then be able to share those. So I will post a link in the chat on Twitch and YouTube. So if you're interested, open this form, put in your question, and we will get on these next week. Just a disclaimer, not all of them will be picked. And so yeah, just, wanted to make this a short disclaimer.
For sure. It's a better streamlined process as well. I do have to give credit where it's due to like the community team, KB, Max Chaos. Like, you guys are on top of it when the questions come in the live chat, and you very quickly populate the listing for us, myself and Tanksaurs, when we're on here going through these questions. You guys dig into these so quickly that, shout out to you guys. It's hard work. I get that. Just kind of working on the fly. But this is going to be a greater convenience to give us more days over the span of a week.
Yeah.
To look at these questions in more depth, in more detail, and provide you guys more meaningful answers as we take a look at them later.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand it that there are a lot of people in the chat that want to ask questions and they want to have answers. But in a lot of cases, we just simply cannot answer anything else than, hey, we don't have any plans on that, or we have to look into that. And this is unfortunately the case for, I would say, 60-70% of all questions, while we can answer questions like, hey, when is this line coming, or what is the next line, which we don't always want to answer. So we want to pick out questions that are, in our opinion, interesting to the entire community and want to add more context to it. That's the whole idea behind it. So yeah. All right, so we covered the Italian TDs, we covered the question topic. What do we have this week?
So this past week, you guys had your chance to see the challenge for Earn Your Flag. That's earning points to get yourself your very own Tier H Heavy, the US Patriot T26E5, along with some other rewards along the way. We also had the Damage Dealers Challenge ongoing, placing the top 5 damage dealers on your team just to earn a little extra silver. Plus various booster sales, including the ×5 Vehicle XP, ×8 Commander, and ×2 Silver boosters. And then a big one, I know a lot of players are excited about this. Our trade-in event had gone live earlier this week. I'm not going to break down the full list of teams. You guys are more than welcome to take a look on our portal article page for the full list, or take a look in the game itself. But if there's tanks that have your interest, and maybe there's older tanks that you aren't really playing anymore, take a look. There might be some good exchange value between those.
Get the Iron Rain if you don't already have it.
Iron Rain.
It's
yes. Good. I do have to call out, TK, you being on stream with us today. A lot of things so far are being kind of shaken up. We're kind of changing our agenda just a little bit on stream already, aren't we?
Always. We're jumping
here. Q&As are a little bit different, but I think we have a plan with some live playtesting, do we not?
Oh yes. So we wanted to keep this today a little bit shorter, the kind of presenting everything, but then jump into the game, into the custom game. So what we have is I already prepared a lobby on the NA server this time. So for all the Europeans that are watching, jump over. I'm today on the NA server. I opened a lobby and we're gonna play some custom maps with Bam. So if you want to get a shot at him, today's your chance.
We need to think about like custom achievements in the game, like destroy a dev tank, get a medal or something, you know, just a little achievement.
Yeah.
I did bring this up to my design team as well. If they would be interested, they are also thinking they may also jump into the custom game. So you guys will be playing with various developers. And a bit of our focus today, TK, we want to take a look at the community map.
Yes.
Because I know players have been asking about this for a while, and we haven't really had time to set up or schedule a time frame in which we do actual community map testing and get your guys' feedback, play testing along with you, and get some actual battles. I know a lot of you hop into custom games, you might set up a two-person lobby just to kind of do the visual tour of the map itself, but you probably don't get many opportunities to actually play a battle in it, right? A full lobby of 15v15.
Yeah.
So that's kind of our goal today, toward the later half of our stream going on.
I'm already looking forward to it. I hope you end up on the enemy team, so I can return the favor from last time.
I am in the lobby now.
Okay, so, very good.
You control the teams. Wherever you think I need to belong.
Yeah, so the lobby is up. If you want to join, please join.
For what it's worth, TK, it does come up as Whiskery Steel 75 custom game on the lobby list.
That is true.
All right. Beyond that, we talked a little bit about this last week as well, but some of our Warhammer event changes. We have removed the progressive difficulty system, so the requirements do not increase with each completion of the challenge op itself. This is just to make the progression a little bit easier and faster. And of course, these details are, as always, shared on our portal article. We are now at the phase 2 of our Warhammer 40,000 event. Keep up the good fight against the forces of chaos. And as a reminder, we have acted on some of the feedback from you, the community, on these challenges. And have addressed that difficulty system on both the For the Emperor challenge, keeping the requirement at a static 1000 XP for each completion. This does not increment as you complete each one going forward. And have also adapted the same solution to the Adeptus Mechanicus challenge op, which lowered the XP requirement and also keeps it at a static 750 XP per completion. And then we have also been monitoring your response to the vehicles themselves of the Warhammer content. One vehicle in particular, the Nemesis, not quite living up to its expectations. While this is another case in which we would normally give ourselves 30 days worth of actual play data to get a more accurate picture of its performance and how well it's doing. But the data we've already picked up on this tank very closely mirrors to a lot of the sentiment and the feedback that the players are giving on the Nemesis tank in and of itself. So, and due to the limited availability of these tanks, because this is Warhammer licensed content, and it could be a long time before we get another opportunity to share these awesome tanks to you guys again in the live game, we did feel the need to improve its performance and take action on this as soon as reasonable. So this past Tuesday, the Nemesis itself did receive several changes and buffs to the tank itself, including some aim time changes and various penetration, shell speeds, and reload time changes across all 3 of its shell options the tank has. So hopefully you guys had a chance to check it out. If you played it before the buff changes, check it out again. Let us know what you think, and hopefully your gameplay improves with that as well.
Indeed.
And then that takes us over to our next week set of content. I know players have been asking a lot about Tanks Reforged. When is the next time we are running some sort of form of Tanks Reforged? This is a pretty large undertaking, and another shout out to Max Chaos. This is something that he does personally take a lot of personal investment to go through a lot of tanks that he sees needs some survivability or just improvements into the game, etc. And we have quite the plethora of tanks coming next Tuesday that are receiving the Tanks Reforged treatment. And again, this will be all published on our article after the stream. I will touch upon just 3 of them real briefly here.
Why would you do that?
Why would I just pick out 3 of these tanks? There is a few dozen in here, but I'm just going to touch upon 3 for now.
I also see someone asking in chat if there's a giveaway, but let's talk about these tanks first.
Giveaways, huh? They're on to us. All right, so starting off, Tanks Reforged, we'll start with a Tier 8 German Panther 8.8 medium tank. This one was suffering a little bit from a pretty low survival rate, so we hope to improve some of the turret armor and provide some additional protection against lower tier guns when you are at even the top tier in the match itself. This is in hopes that it will improve its ability to survive and a little bit better at effective at its own tier as well. This tank, of course, does have preferential matchmaking, so these are the only changes for now that are being applied strictly to the Panther 8.8. And to go into a little bit more specific details, the turret frontal armor has increased in thickness from 120 millimeters upwards to 185 millimeters, and a rotation speed of 36 to 42. The engine, its horsepower has increased from 700 to 870, and its 8.8 centimeter gun aim time has also changed from 2.3 to 1.8. Just to give you guys kind of a brief rundown on that tank. The next one that we also have some reforged treatment going on here, the Tier 8 British Atomic Centurion, also received some turret changes in terms of its view range, got a little increase from 390 to 400 meters. And its gun type B barrel has received a reduction in its reload time from 7 seconds to 6.5, and a dispersion during rotation changed from 0.14 to 0.12. As well as some shot dispersion changes both in its rotation and movement has received some changes as well. In general, we wanted to make sure the improvements of the gun handling and movement for this tank retained better accuracy, along with a small bump in its own damage per minute. And then the last tank we'll touch upon here in Tanks Reforged, the Tier 8 Swedish Sturv 81. This one is receiving a reload change from 7.5 to 7 seconds, dispersion during rotation changes from 0.16 to 0.14, accuracy change from 0.33 to 0.31, and an aim time change of 2.3 to 2.1, as well as shot dispersion for rotation and movement changes, going from a 0.2 to a 0.16. So those are the 3 tanks we're just going to touch upon here. There are, like I said, dozens more, both in regular tech tree tanks and premium tanks, and those details can be shared to you guys in the portal article after the stream. So, TK, why did we pick those tanks out in particular?
I don't know. There was someone before the stream who was asking me if we are doing some giveaways today. I think that someone was called Bam1500, maybe?
Calling me out. Okay.
Yeah. So you have the honor to announce
Okay,
that.
okay. I'll want me to take it from there? Okay. We are giving away 3 lucky winners for their chance to get one of each of the... Well, I'm sorry. Let me back up. 3 lucky winners, and they will be receiving one of those 3 tanks. So one winner will receive the Panther 8.8 medium, another winner the British Atomic Centurion, and our 3rd lucky winner the Swedish Sturv 81. So we'll go ahead and put up that link, and we'll let that run through the duration of the stream and announce our winners toward the end of the stream today.
Yeah, the links are shared. There was just one question that I wanted to quickly address. Yes, the Primo Vittoria is included as well with this same change that the SDRV gets.
Good call, yes.
And something for Zoran, if he's watching, our shout out to our Reddit guy. Maybe you will be happy to hear that the AMX CDC will get I think a slight buff as well. So, because I know that there are... that there is someone on Reddit who will be very hyped to see it. Yeah. All right.
Cool. One more announcement. I do see our community map custom games lobby is starting to fill up here. We do still have some empty spots. Again, we won't start the match until we kind of run through our agenda items, which we're getting pretty close to. But quick shout out, I do see our level designer joining us today as well in custom games. Look for that WGW tag, Volleybear. Sorry, putting a target on your back a little bit there, Volleybear. He's our level designer doing much of the heavy lifting and work that we've been doing on the community map. So again, hit us up with some feedback, guys. And again, we want to run some actual battles today. We're not going to be doing sightseeing. Actual battles, and we'll try to take a look at the data in the weeks to come and just kind of see what that might mean in terms of like balance changes, respawn area changes, etc.
Yeah. So we will share the list of all the tanks that are included in this Reforge later on our Discord. The article for the Reforge will go live on Monday. So if you want to really read in detail what changes the tanks get, you will have the ability to do that on Monday.
All right. We got a couple more agenda points just to cover on in terms of more content coming next week. We do have a few other challenges and discounts coming in. Battle of Dunkirk. This is starting on May 26th. Deal damage, whether in a British, French, or German tank, and you can earn yourself some extra XP. This is part of a five-part challenge that does reset on a daily basis. And then we also have various discounts on skins and equipment, upwards of 50% off. And then 30% off various British, French, and German World War II tech tree and premium tanks, also starting on May 26. And then, of course, we have Memorial Day weekend coming up next week. So starting on May 26th, a weekend of 3 times XP. So look forward to that. Get yourselves a lot of bankment on that XP. And then we have some conversion rate bonuses, also specific to free XP, where 1 gold can net you 28 XP instead of the usual 25. And then we also have a gold to silver conversion bonus. 1 gold can now net you 600 silver instead of the normal 400 silver. And then contracts, lastly here, the new premium contract, the VK 7501K will be coming out to you guys on Tuesday as well. So look forward to that new premium contract. And that, my friends, is a wrap on our concept offerings coming next week.
All right. Seems like we covered most of it that is interesting for this week and what's coming up next week. So again, we don't have any prepared questions for today. If Bam sees, however, a question in chat, we will of course he will of course pick it up. But now, to prepare for our community event, we have another special guest today that I was able to get. Oh? Yes. I will drag him in. Maybe he's already listening. Mr. Ricky, are you here? Hello. He's muted right now, but I might have surprised him by pulling him in into the stream chat, because he said
Ricky, welcome.
Yeah, because he's also already in the lobby.
He's in the lobby, yeah.
He is in the lobby. There he is.
Hey, yes, hello.
Hello. How's it going?
Long time no see, my friend.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's long time no speak, Bam. Hello. It's good, yeah. I was listening to the stream, so I had an echo started all of a sudden.
By the way, I'm not sure. Are we already able to talk about next month, Bam?
Let's save that one for another stream. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But we'll keep that one for a couple more weeks.
Okay. No, I just thought, because, you know, yeah. All right. Let's do that.
I really want to say something.
Yeah, I think that's it's gonna be an interesting tease. Now everybody who's watching is like, what's happening? Give us the information.
Is it a big collab between Bam, Ricky, and TK? What's going on here?
What are they talking about?
No, we're setting up the ultimate.
That's what we're talking about.
Sorry?
Cold War artillery. There you go.
Getting controversial now, are we?
Cold War artillery. Mr. SPG is in chat like, yes, finally, I wasn't even aware of it. No, but okay. I would say let's jump into the game lobby, and
In fact, we still have 8 spots open. So if there's anyone pending
Yes.
and thinking about joining,
I see a lot of people from Ricky. I see a lot of people from Wargaming. Max Chaos is here as well. Shout out to him. He's doing God's work with answering all the questions that I don't have an answer to. So, and it's Maxilla. It's on NA. It is
Oh, yeah,
on
good
NA.
coffee. We forgot to
Yes.
mention that.
So don't forget. This time, I'm busy with making things work. Mr. SPG, join, please. At least for one game. Where are these notes posted? So I know that like we post them on our official Discord. It's either KB doing it. I think today it's DGeneratio or Wheezy doing it. And also Zoran is doing this on Reddit. So on our like unofficial subreddit, World of Tanks console, there are always breakdowns and the compilation of all the questions. Okay, we have 2 more slots. Pick an Era 2 tank, please.
Maxzilla in the chat. Time to legally stream snipe.
Yes, exactly. I'm just gonna...
Really quick, I guess, on the subject of the community map, I realized we kind of just jumped right into this saying, hey, come join the custom games. Just in case there's individuals out there on the stream maybe unaware, the community map is an initiative that we've run a few times in the past. This is a map that we kind of start with a very blank slate. We survey our players, get feedback from you guys, and even converse a little bit back and forth as we go through on stream to help create a map that you guys are looking forward to. And you guys give us feedback and ideas, and we try to think about how we can incorporate that in the best manner that we can into creating a map that by the end of the when it's ready to ship, it is something that you guys all agreed on. It's like, okay, this was something that we all collectively worked on, and here it is. Oh, and I just got a notice from our level designer. If you guys are concerned about what sort of camouflage to apply to your tank, this is a urban camo map.
Yes. So everybody ready up? And let's go. We have a full 30.
Here we go.
Oh no.
It's been a long time coming. I know we've mentioned about trying to set this up in the past.
Yeah.
Apologies, but here we are. We felt today was the day to kind of start our first community map, first large-scale battle altogether.
Oh.
Just a cone. I'll be by the cone. Sinister's asking if you can kick me so he can join.
Wait.
Hey now.
Sinister, I can. Yeah, maybe after this match. I'm just a little bit confused right now because I don't have any music in game. I only have sound.
I also turned on my volume. I didn't want players getting hit or inundated with extra audio.
Oh yeah, so I have a... okay. Ooh. So what changed from the last time that we showed it? Because the last time we were able to display to show it, you were on my community stream, and you talked a lot about you know, we had this whole harbor section that, and the whole like sea section. So
yeah, so a lot of the feedback that we got, very unanimous. There was too much water, not enough drivable space. And we had this old harbor section, but it really didn't have a good predefined gameplay space that we just couldn't agree on. And so we leaned more into like, what if this is more just of a natural area, a little bit more hills. We added that extra tunnel in there as well. And ultimately, within our internal testing, this felt a lot better, offered a lot more flanking route opportunities, etc. And yes, ultimately we abandoned just the harbor that used to be there.
Yeah, that beach section looks really nice. That's really good.
The which section?
The beach section.
The B line looks.
B line.
Yeah.
Ugh, M50, go away. Leave me alone. Oh, we are getting killed. Oh, they're already here. Never mind.
See Max Chaos.
I'm running. Goodbye.
Get him.
Goodbye.
I'm playing too aggressive here. Fucking take you down, Max. You got fire support though.
Oh.
All right, someone got him. Wow, they're already taking the base. We still have 12 people here.
Okay.
So this is a 1,200 meter squared map, so relatively larger than our standard 1,000 meter maps. So we wanted to be very mindful of how we make this a viable map both in Cold War as well as World War II. Having the bases as far away as they currently are does lead into circumstances in which we can't get back to base in time to stop the cap. Oh, I bounced.
I go on my own terms. Oh, okay. I mean,
GG.
I couldn't really go back to defend it, but it's okay. I would have just straight up died.
Ricky sporting the Mila Jovovich 3D commander there on the MVP screen. Well done.
All the way.
She waved to me the second I said that. It's like he hears.
Okay, go back. I might be able to do it in this window, though.
What's the game plan here, TK? Are we sticking on Arrow 2?
Whatever you want, whatever you feel like. I can just change it. What do you guys want to go?
What's your call?
I'm happy with Era 2. That was comfortable, yeah.
Let's do one more Arrow 2.
Okay. Then
it feels like there's less the city section in the bottom right corner. It's got less elevation than before. Is that right?
In the bottom left corner,
bottom right corner, where the southern spawn is, there's less elevation there. I remember there would be big ramps up and down, but that feels like there's less elevation change there now.
I'm trying to recall all the changes that we did make over there. If we're talking about the southeast side,
yeah,
it got a little bit more natural grass, trees in that area. I think we did take away an extra kind of like sniper perch in one corner of the map that was really close to the border. Because this is part of the trickiness of designing some maps where we got to be careful not to create too many nooks and crannies along the borders, in which if you get into a game mode like Team Destruction and players just go and hide somewhere and say like that might be the last surviving player on the team, trying to track down that individual might be hard. So we got to be very aware that we want players to have some fun at advantageous points in a map, but also not playing a game of hide and seek the entire time either.
Yeah, Team Destruction is not available for the community map.
That's for right now. I think we have just probably encounter and standard battle.
It says standard battle, encounter, yeah, standard battle and encounter. So
just hide and seek is fun though. I mean, if we had a game mode that was strictly about had rules for actual supporting hide and seek, I can get behind that.
We've already had 2 games like that this week, and both times
on,
we're looking for
crazy.
an M50.
Oh.
Ready up? Yeah, 5 seconds. Oh.
Loaded Psycho. Tag would be kind of fun.
Tag. Among Us in World of Tanks. And when you hit someone, you instantly ammo rack someone.
So, on that subject, because I do really admire a lot of you guys in the community who come up with unique ideas and custom games and playing very unique things that the game was never intended to play as. We are supporters and would love to have more criteria and options, filters that you guys can apply in custom games. Truth be told, though, custom games is not a very high priority for us with everything else going on for delivering on our features and content on a per milestone basis. While we have in the back of our mind that we want to apply extra things to give you guys more flexibility to your own playtests, one day something may come. That is not a promise. That is not a guarantee anything is coming, but just know like we are thinking about it, and when the time is right and we feel a reason to do more support for custom games, we will dive further into that.
Friendly fire in custom games, that would be funny as well.
Mm-hmm. A hardcore mode maybe, remove all the HUD and it's one shot, one kill. That's going to be an interesting balance issue where players might just be going in with auto reloaders or something.
Oh yeah, the BMP2 would take everybody out in one clip.
Yep.
I think an infected game mode would be cool.
That was one of my favorites in a lot of old school games, for sure. If you had an infected game mode, Ricky, what starting tank would be on the infected side? Like if we had to set rules that like, oh, the infected always starts as this tank, what would make sense for that one versus all the other players as the non-infected, I suppose?
It would need to be something not sluggishly slow, but fast enough. A T72, I'd say.
72?
Yeah. T72.
So like, okay, yeah, I forget. You were mostly like a Cold War fan too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Is that what tank is that coming up on me?
Nope. Oopsie.
Is that the Armadillo?
I think if you had a T72 chasing down mediums. I don't know. I need to experiment with it and see what would work.
Comment from Smile for Shaheen. Oh, I am tracked here. Community map is coming along now. Fabulous work as usual, team. Thank you very much. And level designer, hope you're hearing that as well. Please forgive. I know some of people might look at this map and see what are these like Lego-like building blocks everywhere. To stress, this is very much a work in progress map. We don't want to start putting in our final assets of like buildings because we want to be able to better conceptualize the final aesthetic and approach of what the map will eventually look like. So taking away any sort of details or specifics helps kind of visualize the potential of what this map might be. Very early on, it was a very heavy urban map with much more pine trees and different geographical natural assets kind of placed around, and that gave much more of a, I don't know, like a Northwestern America feel, like you're in Seattle or Washington, etc. And now we've gone much more into like a tropical kind of scenario when we started to look at, this might feel better because players want more coastline to kind of traverse on. Like, let's lean into that much more.
Oh, took his head off. Nice. I like the shipping containers. I assumed they were blue blocks, but I assumed they would have been shipping containers.
It would have been.
Yes. I kind of like that aesthetic on the coastline. Just a small section of it.
Small section of like some of the shipping containers.
Yeah.
Level designer, you listening in? I'm sure he's watching the stream.
Otherwise, you can just tell him, I'll tell you.
Listen, Ricky asked for more shipping containers. He says maybe. He reached out to me on the side.
Because the thing that I liked about it was there were gaps between the containers that only certain tanks could fit through. And I thought that created a really unique way of playing that particular area that you don't normally get elsewhere in maps. So that's what stuck out.
That's a good point. Yeah.
People want to go tier 10 era World War II. All right.
I've seen a few mentions for tier 10. Yeah, let's go for it.
Let's do this then. Nope. Let's put True Vision on, right?
You want to do? Oh boy.
No. And I'm just gonna pick the Lehman. We're gonna see a lot of Lehmans. Oh no, somebody's already picking FE 4005. All right, Iron Ani. Good choice. Good choice. 7 minutes. I can do 5 minutes.
I was going to note that. Yeah, I did see that we have a 7-minute match timer.
Tier 1. Go, everyone.
Give me a moment. I'm sorry if you guys are waiting on me. Let's grab this guy. Oh, good. I wasn't the last one to ready up.
No, you're not. Don't worry.
Well, let's give a reminder to our audience. Our giveaway that's going on. Do we want to put that link out there one more time?
Yep, done.
Very nice. So a reminder, again, we have a Tanks Reforged coming on Tuesday. Dozens of tanks all receiving some Reforged treatments. And as part of that, we are also giving away 3 tanks as part of it to 3 lucky winners. They can receive the Panther 88 Medium, the British Atomic Centurion, or the Swedish Sturv 81. So we'll announce those winners at the end of the stream today. WG Volibear, waiting on you. Oh, he says feel free to start. I think he's got some work coming up. So one thing I will note, next season, nothing to really announce right now, but we do have a different treatment and plan of how we want to test the community map. Again, won't go into specifics, but look forward to some changes next season. And beyond that, we are getting close to wrapping up much of our testing and placeholder work that we have been doing on the community map, and starting to think about, when is an appropriate full release for the map. And again, a full release means all this placeholder content, these Lego-like building blocks, will be replaced with actual final assets. Not giving any dates right now, but just know, guys, like we are starting to creep up to that point where we are kind of ready to say this is ready to go out.
I was trying to listen to you right now, Bam, but then Sister of Battle started screaming in my ear when the battle started.
Oh.
Get ready for.
It's not quite the war cry.
Why is everybody following me? Huh?
You're a leader, a fearless leader, war sister.
Oh no! Hey, stop firing!
Big City Wildcat. Do we have a name for the new map yet? No. Feel free to shoot us some suggestions. We do have a ticket that grabbed some ideas from players in the past. I think we had something about like ravaged coastline, or I haven't looked at that ticket in a while. But the map has taken a lot of different changes. No, Norwegian guy, I see you there. Mappy McMap face. No. What we will probably do on development side, we'll take some suggestions from the player base and maybe put it to a poll of at least our favorites internally, and share them to you guys in a survey and see, what's a popular vote, and that could be the name that we settle on.
Ah.
We got a heavy presence of the enemies. Well, actually, I don't know if you guys are on my team. I was going to say a heavy presence of them in the southeast.
No. You are on the enemy side. Come out there, you heretic. Let me fire at you. Oh, go away, Mr. Sturmtiger. Is this happening again?
It's not going so well down here.
Can I get down here?
Oh, we're already at the base.
Yep, you are.
I haven't even made it halfway through the map.
The heretics survived that shot.
Ah,
One of
yeah.
your traps is damaged.
Are they again capping? Really?
See, okay, the players blame the bots for capping very quickly, but
failed to
hey,
penetrate
players
their
do the
armor.
same thing sometimes. Now, I will say I have noted a lot of feedback. Ricky, you've actually, I think, done a video about this, or you and I have
Your
talked
shot
about it.
was found
Of
wanting.
how can we make some sort of improvements
Focus on
that
this
prevents
area.
players from capping bases so quickly at like
Repairs
match start?
complete.
Because
Movement
yeah, I
restored.
understand.
The
It can be
burden
pretty
of failure is
frustrating
the most
to play a
terrible
match. We just
punishment
ended in a
of all.
13v9. That match certainly could have gone on a lot longer. Mind you, we're not earning any silver XP. This is custom games.
Yeah.
But there was much more opportunity and gameplay to be had in this situation.
But that kind of game we just had there, that is not unusual. And if you're not really that bothered by, whatever you're doing in your tank, then it's fine. Don't worry about it. But if someone is trying to 3-mark or 2-mark something, a game like that can just
Really hurt
decimate
your-
their mark. Like,
For
just-
sure.
And it's no fault of the player.
Rex
That's
Chaos
all.
has changed mode to team deathmatch. Unfortunately, this map does not have the access to team deathmatch or team destruction. So,
It may have been an early decision. Like I mentioned earlier, it is a larger map. We try to be mindful of maps that we put into rotation. Take Hellfire Pass as an example. That's our biggest map in the game. We do not allow team destruction in regular rotation for the instances of players going off into very far corners and never being able to encounter those individuals. But we should, when we go into full release of the community map, we will support team destruction. But whether or not we put it into random battle play, that is still debatable and data that we need to look into later.
I see something from Mr. SPG saying that it's if you get out of position, you can't go back to base. That's on you. If you're out of position to defend the base, that's on you. Yeah, I see the point, but also keep in mind that if the majority of the team like this happens and they decide to go one side, it doesn't matter if you go back alone or with 2 tanks because you just get immediately eaten up. So there is this and this. But yeah. I guess if you're a slow tank, that's but team game, yeah, Mr. SPG.
So that is a hard thing to request of players, right? And I'm not saying that we are going to, like, tomorrow we're making complete changes and overhauls to the bases and the capping system. That's not the case. We need to go into more analysis, but I am just acknowledging that we understand there's concern and comments in regards to this. But it is hard to ask and convince teammates and players like, hey, I'm going to go ahead and hit the front line where I can get all the damage and get some XP and silver because I want to earn. Can you guys, sit back, defend the base? In which case, some matches may lend that to the fact that no one ever comes to the base. And now we got players that have been kind of sitting and camping and we're not contributors to the match in and of itself. So, these are all things just kind of we're trying to keep in mind. We like the dynamic that what bases create in battles, that there's always something else other than just destroying the tanks. And it kind of pulls people out of their hiding positions or even gives that chance for the underdog to pull in a win if the odds were against them.
Do you also say this is an urban map, is it?
Urban map, correct. And we will
This-
maintain that for release.
Right, because I was going to say this has a similar feel to Fisherman's Bay, which is also urban, but I'd say the majority of tanks would benefit from summer
Summer.
camouflage.
So on that subject, I am sitting on a ticket. This is another priority list thing that we juggle around all the time of being able to do support for maps for multi-camo. So like you said, Fisherman's Bay, this community map as well, it would very much benefit from both a summer and an urban. So it's just a matter of developing and supporting that sometime into the future.
So would you have the choice of what camo you go into the game with before it starts, that sort of thing?
Oh, you're asking if apply a camo based on when you like load in?
Yes.
My perspective on it is this map would just support both. So, well, that's a good point. If you come in with a tank with both urban and summer camo applied, which one gets chosen on load-in?
Yes.
If I had to make a simple call on that, it's just kind of up to the system to decide. But if the goal is to just allow players to have both camo supported, we can have that happen. Or rather, we would investigate to make that happen. Having some sort of support that gives players a choice on load-in, that's a completely different task. And if I had to give my perspective on it, something unlikely we developed for.
Right.
Where did I get spotted from? I was just a little bit confused where my shell went.
Where's the enemy team all at? They all in the middle? Because I'm getting no conflict over here.
Yeah, there's a fair few in the northwest.
There they are. Okay.
I don't know what team. What team are you on actually?
I don't know.
I just told you where I am.
Ah. Pretty. It's all part of the plan.
I was just extremely. People are blind firing at me. I see.
I'm sniping.
Oh, where's my smoke? Damn it.
Nah.
They've destroyed one of our tanks. We're mobilized.
I see.
I get to the side of this Lehman over here. Who's this TD? They got a perfect. Where's my nemesis? They have a better shot than I do. There we go. What do you say? Maybe one more match after this one?
Yep. Sounds good. Depending on how long this takes, maybe it's not a complete wipeout, or people don't cap.
Plum73, what's the premium tank contract that'll be coming out on Tuesday? That was the VK 75.
I had a shot on this T1. And... Ricky, come back here.
I like the layout of this beach. This is really nice for light tanks. This reminds me of, is it Caen? How do you say it?
Yes.
Caen. That one. That's reminiscent of that. Minus the tank wrecks and the barbed wire.
Right. Which we'll see. We'll see what the final product of this map looks like eventually. May very well include something more like that. Early on, this was something a lot of players, I shouldn't say a lot, but I did see mentions and comments of it. Because there was a lot of water, I think players were thinking boats.
You are so lucky, Ricky.
Ricky.
You were looking down my barrel, good sir. I want to get him. I want to get him so badly. I see also another FE405 on the other side. Oh, it's already 30 seconds left. Okay.
I forgot. Yeah, we did set the timer for a shortened match, so that way we can get more battles in.
Yep, that is. I think also that I'm running like basic equipment because for some reason I only had 4 hash rounds.
A loaded psycho. What's the word on upcoming maps? Coop Dog Drill. They're upcoming. Here, I'll give you guys a hint. We are a little bit early on, but right in time for summer, we are bringing in a winter map. Bet you guys didn't see that one coming.
To cool your, cool everyone down.
Cool everyone down a little bit.
What was my...
That'll be your hint this week. Maybe we'll go a little bit more next time. All right, one last match, and then we'll call it and kind of wrap up the stream here today.
Yeah. Please no Icebound Windstorm. Already see a lot of names for a lot of map suggestions.
See Icebound, Severogorsk, Windstorm, Tundra, Alaska. So that's what's interesting. This is what the difficulty of a lot of our maps into the game. Ardennes. Whew. Do people like Ardennes? Tell me right now in the chat. Are there fans of Ardennes? Because I will tell you right now. What's your call, Ricky?
Yes, I like that one.
You did like Ardennes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because here's the thing. That map. It's been a few years now since that one has been in rotation. That one fell very low on our satisfaction survey that we sent out to the player base years ago, which was very interesting. And so that one fell very far back into our pipeline in terms of like, do we consider bringing it back? So it is fascinating to see that, you know, and like I said, everyone has their different gameplay in the way that they adapt to our game and our maps as well. Some people might not like it. And then there's others that will have a unique play style that really adapt well to these maps. And that's a difficult thing. But now that we have better weighting, that we can set frequencies of maps in certain ways, when we release a brand new map into rotation, that is the one that we'll kind of focus on and give that one a higher frequency so you guys can hit that new map a little bit more when it is available. But we will start looking into ways that we can say, hey, players really miss and want to be able to encounter Himmelsdorf, just an example. And sure, we'll go ahead and increase frequency of Himmelsdorf on select tiers. And then we've also experimented with pushing some maps that don't typically appear in certain tiers. We'll do like maybe a weekend event and run those smaller maps like Mines. We'll push that into tier 10. I know we did that for an April Fool's weekend event last month, but it's still not out of the question if we decide to revisit those kind of shakeups in the rotation from time to time.
Put it in Era 1, that'll be fun.
I think we did Himmelsdorf in Cold War. That's what it was. Did you get a chance to try that one out when we had Himmelsdorf in Cold War rotation?
I like that, actually.
You like that?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for Ensk in Era 3.
Ensk in Era 3.
Yeah, just straight away. Shots fired.
I was going to say, this was when we started developing Cold War mode, El Haluf was the first map that came to mind, like, does this map work with True Vision?
Yeah.
The quick answer was no, and we even worked a lot with repositioning the spawners. But within the first few seconds, you can, despite trying to hide them around hills, buildings, rocks, it doesn't take a lot of time before players can already see each other, and then the conflict and engagement starts immediately.
Yeah, I don't think that one would work. But going back to what you were saying about Ardennes, it's interesting that people didn't like that, because I found that map to be, it's one of the few maps that really worked well for the Swedish tank destroyers. Well, for me anyway, that was such a good map for the Swedish TDs. I really liked it for that reason, and it was good for heavy gameplay as well.
Yeah. We're talking years now. I don't recall the context of what was some of the things that players pointed out about that map, other than, you know, by the end of the day, after we collected the feedback and the survey results, it was like, okay, this is at the bottom of the bucket right now. It's not to say, like, maps won't ever return. We do work on them. We just know what maps players look forward to a little bit more. We try to get maps that offer different, varied gameplay. So we know, I do see in the chat sometimes players are asking for particular maps. Airfield, for many years, was a map that players really wanted back. We were very much aware of it. But we were also we had a bit too many desert maps at the time, and was kind of working out what is the right time frame to release that map.
I think any maps, well, yeah, I mean, any map that isn't in the game right now that was pre 6.0, for me, it brings back a lot of nostalgia. Airfield certainly has, and I really like that.
For sure. Shout out to our environment art team who do a lot of uplifting and a great job just arting up these things, because they are all, I'm not going to say all new assets, but we have to revise our materials and upres our textures to support some of the newer console hardware for that. And that's not an easy process, that just taking an old existing map, it has to kind of adapt to our new lighting systems, our new materials. Maybe one day I'll get our lead world art director on stream, and he can talk a little bit more further on that. I think it's been a few years since we've had him available to talk further.
What
I
about
think any
removing
exposure to
existing
the
maps?
process is good.
Removing existing maps?
Yeah, like Sunset Coast, for example. Asking the questions nobody wants to ask.
I did see when we brought Airfield in, there was an assumption that
I'm
Sunset
sorry.
Coast was going bye-bye. Here's what I would say instead. Instead of taking away maps, we would adjust the frequency. If there are maps players don't necessarily want to see in rotation, what we should do is maybe pull it out of rotation, but keep that map available to players if they want it in custom games, right? Or, like I said, reduce the frequency so it's still possible to hit, but a lot rarer.
I think I also bullied Maxilla in his Sturmtiger. And I am totally not sorry.
Watch behind you, man.
SVG thinks the server needs to be all Mannheim all the time. Anytime you're in queue, G-Kane, have the matchmakers just look for your gamer tag and say, oh, we're putting you into Mannheim, and only Mannheim.
Yeah, please, no. I really, really do not like this map. Oh, hi. Bye.
The enemy's down to one tank.
That's actually an interesting experiment, Goop Dog Drill. Take out Sunset Coast and see how many miss it. I mean, it's interesting. It's an interesting behavior test there.
Yeah. Honestly, I would be all up for like a dynamic map rotation, like each week, like 3 or 4 maps just cycle out, and next week they cycle back in, just to make it more interesting. Because from what I see, like I don't play as much as others, but sometimes they say, hey, they had this map like 8-9 times a day, and they want to have other maps. Like,
Right.
is that maybe an option to? I know that we don't really want to make our map pool, you know, lesser than it is. But to have some kind of, yeah, I don't know, some more dynamic map rotation.
Yes and no. This is something that we're trying to figure out, because we would love to do more shakeups of the map rotation itself. And so far, all we've really tried was pushing maps that don't typically appear in certain tiers, and we would put them for a short amount of time. We have floated the idea of reducing the amount of maps, say like it's just for a weekend, just 5 maps in rotation. These are like 5 fan favorite maps, etc. Right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of players might very much enjoy it, but for a lot of players that may go upwards of maybe 15, 20, maybe even 30 battles on a single day, that can, to them, this might be pretty exhausting. Like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, I like this map before, but now I've gotten this map 10 times already today. So that's just something for us to kind of keep in mind of how we want to run these kind of shake-up events. Not out of the question. We just got to figure out the right cadence and what is that actual selection of maps that we apply that treatment to.
I think it also depends on what map you see the most. Like, if I were to see El Alamein 5 times in one gaming session in Era 2, Era 1, Era 3, I wouldn't care. But if the same thing happened with Great Wall, I would notice and I'd be like, "Oh, this sucks." Because
For sure, yeah.
isn't brilliant.
It goes back to players like having their own favored maps that they do very well on, etc. And yeah, exactly that. We want to make sure that we do apply maps that players will like, but it is refreshing. Like we won't ever just say, okay, Great Wall. We hear the comments and the feedback, but it's not like we're going to take it completely out because players are like, well, I'm not going to play well on this, but that's not to cater to the full player base. I think there will be players that are like, okay, this is my map. I'm going in with the right tank type, and I have a strat in mind.
Okay, so last thing before we end it today, I will provide 3 names. I'm gonna take the first 3 names that are in my that I just pulled, and I'm gonna send them to you, Brendan.
All right.
And you can decide what tank they get.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sticking around, by the way, everyone. And thank you for participating in the custom games. Really love hanging out with everybody. It's been a long time coming. And like I said, we'll try to dig up some data, maybe heat map data, win rate data, other stats that are going on, and just kind of tell you how that kind of panned out in the weeks to come. So with that, a reminder for our giveaway. We do have our winners picked. And again, this is for your chance to get the Panther 88. The British Atomic Centurion, or the Swedish Sturv 81. All three of these being premium tanks. Our first winner, we have Fainsnar. Fainsnar. Sorry, I was about to read the extra suffix that you had on there, but they're a PlayStation user. Is that correct?
I think it's Fainars, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing behind is the console. That's why they always have to submit it.
I was about to call it out, and I realized all three of them have that.
Yeah.
Fainars, congratulations to you. You get yourself the premium German Panther 88 medium. Up next, we have Darts Swinger 73. Congratulations. You will be getting the Tier 8 British Atomic Centurion medium tank.
I also see him in chat. Congratulations, good sir.
There he is. Congratulations. And our last winner, this is for the Swedish Sturv 81. I like this gamer tag. Oma Sasquatch. You win yourself Sturv 81. Congratulations to you.
All right. So I will make sure that you all receive your prizes. I will make this before the weekend, so you will have them after the stream. And, well, thank you, Ricky, for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. At the time, it's late for you as well. Like, I think it's 9 p.m. right now in the UK. And thank you, Bam, for having me as a guest.
Hey, happy to have you on here more often. Tanksaur's, like, he's just taking a break. He's just wanted an extended vacation, so he's not going anywhere. But TK, it's great to have you on. Reach out if you ever want to join in again for a Friday stream.
I actually think that I'm gonna do that next week as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So because I talked to Texas, and I think he's gonna be off next week as well. He's gonna be traveling, so good for him. All right. Well, thank you everyone for tuning in. We see each other next week Tuesday and my stream, and you will all see Bam next week, and we will have hopefully a couple of very interesting questions prepared that you send us. And yeah, besides that, have a nice evening to all my European friends. Have a nice rest of your day to all my American viewers, and see you soon.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.